And happy first day of autumn or fall, y'all. And the weather is fabulous across the state of Mississippi. And I thought, well, what better way to kick off a new season by having something fun for you to do for your family? So joining us today on Good Things is Miss Nicole Smith. She's with the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science. And if you've been on the Good Things Facebook group today, you'll see that I shared her little autumn leaves scavenger hunt. And I thought, well, this is fun to get out and do. So welcome, Nicole.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
Okay, first question. What's the difference in fall and autumn? Can you use them interchangeably?
You can use them completely interchangeably. If you have a lot of trees in your yard, you might be apt to say fall just because of the leaf fall. But autumn is equally good.
Autumn is equally good, and fall, y'all, just rolls off your tongue a little bit better, Nicole. But you do see the change in the landscape. I mean, when you know it's truly fall or autumn, it's when you start getting those beautiful tones of gold or bronze, or you just see the trees slowly letting go of their leaves, and it's just almost like a dance, and it's magical and it's exciting. So now you have all of these leaves on the ground. So what inspired you to do this scavenger hunt?
Well, working at a natural science museum, we're blessed in that we have all of this wonderful trail behind us, which is a great opportunity to get out and go hiking. And since this is the first official day of fall, it is the autumn equinox. It's when the days become equal. The daytime and the nighttime are about equal number of hours. You'll notice that the days are a little shorter, right? That, you don't have as much daylight. And so that means overall things are a little cooler. And I like to get outside when it's a little bit cooler. I don't know about you, but I'm a lot more prone to enjoy myself if I'm not melting. My bones aren't melting hot.
Agreed. Yeah.
And, of course, I love trees. I have a fascination with trees. So I worked with a friend to kind of help this design. And so all those lovely leaves are things that you can expect to find on our trails here specifically behind the museum, but also around the great state of Mississippi. And what better to do with a social distancing activity in the times of COVID? Get outside, go on the trails, and be with your family. So it's kind of a wonderful thing.
Well, I also thought this was such a great resource, timely too, Nicole, for those that may be choosing to still homeschool their kids and looking for maybe a little science fun activity, or just those that may, have kids at home on the weekend with nothing else better to do. I know many families are now getting deer camps ready and all of that. And you got little ones running around outside. Why not at least screenshot it? You don't have to print one off, and just see if you can locate all of these different trees. So you've got several here, so I won't make you go through all of them, Nicole, but what's maybe 2 or 3 that would be the most popular that we would find in our backyards in Mississippi?
Well, all the ones actually on that list are pretty common. You can expect to find most of them. One of my favorites really has to be the tulip poplar, just because it has such a distinctive leaf shape, and it is such a beautiful yellow once its full color has come on. Right now, we're just starting to get the bit of color, and then as the days get colder and shorter, you're going to see a lot more color kind of rise up. I also am a big fan of any sort of maple, because maples tend to go reds or yellows. And I don't know, I love the red-yellows combination. Those are my favorites.
They are beautiful, and I think, too, we forget that we basically have free fall decor in our backyards. There's so many great Pinterest ideas that you can, especially if you get the big sycamore sort of leaves, or even the maple leaves, those that are just a little bit hardier, or those white oaks, and you can make your own little fall wreath from right out of your backyard, or you can use them around your home. So don't just rake them up and burn them. They can be pretty things for the rest of the season.
And the other fun craft thing is I like to do with my nieces is I would get the leaves and I would put them between wax paper and then put a towel over that and then iron it, and it would make a little sun catcher, and you can put that in your window, and it looks like a little mini mosaic stained glass. It's just so pretty. You can hang that up. But also, and just straight up about worth knowing about leaves, you want to leave them on the ground, because that's where your next generation of wildlife comes from. Your insect life comes there, and that becomes winter bird food, and it's good for for your pollinators that come later too. So you really want to And this gives you an excuse not to rake your yard. And you could say, but I'm doing it for wildlife. I'm doing it for nature. Don't let your neighbors get upset with you about that. You're doing it for all the right reasons, leaving your leaves there.
I promise you, Nicole, if my husband is listening to Good Things, he is writing that down as a great excuse to get past not having to rake the yard. And now he's got my full support. So he will be sending you a thank you card at some point for that one.
Yeah, I'm here to help him. I'm there providing him support.
You're also there providing families fun opportunities all the time at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science. No matter where you're listening to Good Things, you've got so many good resources to download or screenshot or sort of just think through. But y'all also have a lot of other fun activities for those in central Mississippi. So what you got going on?
So we've given some, very thoughtful consideration on how do you do things responsibly in the time of COVID. So a lot of our workshop stuff is outdoors or done, if it is done indoors, it's done in a socially distanced fashion. We do have mask recommendations in place, all that good stuff. But the one that's really going to be fun coming up is called the Build a Scarecrow Workshop. And this is going to be on October 2nd, and myself and another one of our in-house educators is going to, if you sign up for the workshop, and there are different fees, you can check our website out for that. Per family or individual or business, we can have you build a scarecrow with us. We'll show you how. The scarecrows will be installed in our native scarecrow garden, native plant garden. And here's the cool thing. Once your scarecrow's up, people can vote on it for the 1 month that it's there, from October 2nd until, the end of that month. And whichever scarecrow gets the most votes has a chance to win a 1-year family membership at the museum.
Pretty cool. Do you get to end up taking it, whether you win or not? Can you take your scarecrow home after November?
Yeah, absolutely. And
I want my scarecrow.
I know, right? Absolutely. I mean, and that'd be such a sweet little Thanksgiving decoration too. It's got some real charm to it. But not only is it like a fun thing to do with a family, or I have a couple of businesses that have signed up for it as a team building activity. They're going to build their scarecrows. We're going to install them. But for that month that they're out and people can vote on it, it's also a night. Let's just say you're visiting and you didn't want to do the workshop, but you want to see the scarecrows when they're up. It's a social distance activity. You can go outside and stroll those native plant gardens, and it'll give you instructions while you're there of how to vote for it on our social media. And the ones with the most likes, now get this is a double whammy. Not only will the one scarecrow that gets the most likes become the one that is the winner for the membership, but by voting on it, let's say you go there and you vote on it, that enters you for a drawing for a 1-year family membership. So not only does the person get a chance to win it, the one who built the scarecrow could win it, but a person who voted on it is entered for a drawing to win it too. So there's 2 opportunities, either make a scarecrow or vote on a scarecrow to get a 1-year family membership.
Well, all good stuff there at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science. Now, Nicole, you are my favorite bird nerd, and I know you take that respectfully. And with the fall coming in, that means my favorite birds are going to be leaving, and that's the hummingbirds. How many more weeks do we have to feed our little friends?
Well, actually, this is going to sound crazy, but you've got several. Even though this is the height of migration right now, migration continues. And keep in mind, there are different types of hummingbirds out there. There's the rufous, the ruby throat hummingbird that everybody knows about. There's the Anna's hummingbird. So there's a few different species out there. So they're going to be kind of traveling through different seasons. I actually keep my hummingbird feeder up almost year round.
Really?
I do, and it doesn't necessarily mean that, I'm going to get a lot of activity, but I know that sometimes that feeder can make the difference between a bird making it or not during migration. And it's going to vary a bit. Weather changes things. That big storm that hit several weeks ago that was all over the news, it's definitely affected migration, but I think it gave them kind of a what do you call it, a tail breeze, when they give you an extra breeze. It kind of
A
pushed them in
tailwind.
advance. Yeah, a tailwind. I had so many extra hummingbirds in my yard just before the storm, and I think it must have given them a little kick. And so they were hitting it hard then, but I'm still seeing a lot now, and I expect to see a reasonable amount probably through at least early November.
All right, Nicole, the 3 things I'm taking away is my husband doesn't have to rake to get out and enjoy the leaves in their natural habitat. To make sure we go to the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science website, sign up for our scarecrows or go vote for them, and leave my hummingbird feeder alone and leave it up, and to feed the birds all year long. I always adore when you're own, Nicole, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Rebecca. Come play with us. You should come to my workshop. It'll be good to see you.
I should. Maybe I will. But you guys stick with us. We got more good for you coming up.